Jules here from Joolsedesigns and JT Creations. This is the second time I've videoed this. Because it's in portrait size, it was a little bit out of the screen when I was going over the editing. So this is my letters kit. As you can see, it's a big kit. It's got a bit of everything in it. So I will be creating two journals from this. I'll be creating a tall skinny one, which is the portrait folded over in kind of muted tones, and it's all letters, and that was inspired by Ruby and Pearl. I think it's XO or OX. It was a journal that she received from a friend. Also Roxycreations did something similar, but she didn't do the tall skinny. It was all letters and old papers and everything. I will link those two below. So I did a lot of different backgrounds on the letters. Now this is upside down, and I don't know whether you'll get to see, that's got like a kind of embossing in the background, and it's just plain black and white. I think there's 2 or 3 letters that I've used with different backgrounds. That's another one. Again, I think you can see it if I hold it up. I've had to lift my camera up, so I'm standing on my tippy toes. Yeah, you can see the embossing in the background. Again, that's the first letter done in the sepia, and it gives it an old worldy. I also put it on like an old book that's all been a book page, that all the pages have been rolled over and everything. I tried to do that effect. I did the same, and I did it in like a vintage pink. I did it in like a vintage green. I've also got the page that I did, and what I did was I just upped the contrast on these just to get the page bit a little bit lighter, but I've done it in a blue and a pink, so you can either print them out on the back of the letters, or you can print them out and then print a letter over the top. And so I did 3 of them. I did it in the blue, the pink and the green. I've done some letters in landscape, some smaller letters, just on old pages. This one's just on a white page, so you can print that out and mix it in. I've also done some letters in brighter colours, for those that don't like not over keen on all vintage. Right, we'll keep that one to one side. And again, that's a letter in a deeper peach. That's an old style letter, the way that they used to do them. And you can print this on the back. We have some letters with it, envelope pages with some addresses on the back. That's in the green. That's a paler peach, paler than, that's like a pinky peach. That's peach. In the green, the duck egg green, the cream again, but that's a different letter. That's wrote in blue. That one's just the one of the letters on its own, with nothing behind it. Then I did some embossing, so I don't know whether you can see that. And these can be used, they can be used landscape, but a lot of people like the embossing on the papers but don't have any embossing folders. So, or if you just can't be bothered to get your embossing folders out in your embossing machine. So that's like an aqua, so we've got aqua purple. Got quite a few pages. This one is green, and it's like a, it looks like a poinsettia, but I don't think it is. I think it's a kind of dahlia, because poinsettias don't hang off like that. Or that could be another flower mixed in. But I've done that in the green. I've also done it in a white, and I don't know whether you'll get to see that. So it's got like a faint pink, and it's something that you can use to print on the backs of your letters or your pages. You can use them in with other kits. There's a pink one. It's got the watercolour flower, and it's got the faded edge. I've done a couple of these, and again, these you can use that way or that way. That's got the wood grain embossing. Another pink one, again with embossing in the background, and it's quite versatile, this kit, because you can use it for all sorts. You don't have to use it with letters. That one's got like a net embossed. These are just some of the fun ones I did with the pinks and the peaches and the pens. I did a couple of these. There's another one, and it's got letters, love, you know, if you want to do a love letter one. Like a shabby chic that's got hearts on it and envelopes. These ones have lines on them, and they are meant to go in a tall skinny, but if you didn't want to, it doesn't matter that it's got lines on it. If you've got you know, a stamp line, or you've got something digital on your computer, you can print that out and put some lines in. I sometimes use old corrugated cardboard and ink on it and just put it on. I've done it in quite a few videos, and you get like the lined effect there. So I've done quite a few of them. That's a pink one. I've done like a lilac-y blue. These are the envelopes. So these are the envelopes that they used to, how they used to fold them years ago. So you fold along these lines, and you get this kind of thing. And what happens is you just tuck that in there. That's how they used to, before envelopes were invented. And they used to fold them like that and put their address on, and then they'd have like a seal, and that would go. So I've got quite a few of them in different colours. I've got a blue one, a green, pink, I've got an aqua, and like a duck egg blue, which is that one, although I've printed that off on newspaper print, and it's come out a little bit deeper. It depends on the paper. And then I've got some ephemera. So these are light fun ephemera. So there's envelopes. If you've got, you know, if you've got the on your printer where you can print sort of like 2 to a page, 3 to a page, 4 to a page, or whatever, you can get your envelopes smaller, and you can make nice little dinky envelopes. Some bigger envelopes with sort of like little scraps of paper that you can cut out. I've got some labels, circles, and what I did do was, because we were doing with envelopes and letters, I made some seals and I photographed them. You know, if you want to use wax seals, that's fine. I use wax seals sometimes in my journals, but some people don't have them, or they don't want to use them because of the bulk. Where this way you've got them. I tried to cover most colours. So there's that one. And then we've got some tags. and we've got I've got a page of blue and a pink, beige and green. So that's that kit. It will be in my Etsy shop and it will be linked below. It will also be in my Ko-fi shop. Again, that is linked below. My Ko-fi shop has a lot of freebies in it. That was the reason I started the Ko-fi shop, was because I could do freebies, so I could give all my supporters something free. And I'm trying, at the moment it's usually about one a month, but I'm trying to get there where there's 2 a month or even 1 a week. So the first journal I'll be making is with the older envelopes, and I'll not be using any of the sort of like the fun element, the brighter element. So it's all these all muted tones. So that's got a pocket in. That was just and I have used sort of like really thin paper to do some of these. This one I just printed off on pink. That was something else that I had, but I printed the letter in, faded it down, and all I did was I crumpled up the paper and then inked over it. I think I've probably put a bit of tea dye. I've had just a cup with sort of like just tea that I've been using, and I just sort of like spray it on or put it on, and I just use a brush, and it doesn't affect the print too much. This one's a document, and again it was the paper with the crumpled edges, and what I did was I just tore around some of them, cut around some of them and inked it so that it looks like an old document. This one again I did, and I just crumpled it up in parts, ripped bits off, folded it up, inked it. That went through the printer wonky, but I'm not bothered. And I did put some tea on that. You can see where the prints come through on the back, but that's fine because it makes it look old. And that's what I'm looking at. Again, this is tea-dyed paper. I was doing maintenance on my printer, that's why my hands are still a bit black. My printer got a paper stuck underneath it. I've had to take it all to bits because it was like a bit of the paper was stuck and it was like ripping bits. But I'm quite happy with the way it is. I wasn't going to get rid of it. I used it. That one stopped printing halfway through because it got stuck. But never mind. Another one that I did on the oldie papers, and I tried to sort of like cut round a bit and to make it look old. That one's an actual ink splot from my printer, but it makes it look more authentic, and you can see where it stopped printing, and it was a bit wonky, so that's fine. That's just a scrap bit of paper that I had when I was printing wallpapers and bits and pieces, and I quite like the blue. I like that Delft blue look, so I've shoved that in. Again, a plain page, and I tried to make it look old. I just crimpled up the edges, ripped them, inked them, and then folded it. I did print it with like a pale duck egg blue, and this is one from the kit. This is the one that I actually changed the contrast on so that it gave me a whiter bit, an even more whiter bit. That one printed out perfectly. That side didn't, but I'll just take it down. It doesn't matter if it takes a bit off that, then I'll ink it. And this one again, I just inked on white, and I just faded the page. that one I did it a bit deeper, and then I ripped it with a ruler, and you can see I ripped it a bit wrong. So that's basically what I'm looking at. Now this one might have 2 signatures in, it might have 1 signature, it depends. But I've started making the ephemera, and you have seen some of the ephemera that I've made for this. So we've got the 2 very white clusters that I've misplaced. I've probably packed them away to take away. This was the other one, the journal card with a pocket, and that will go in on one of these pages, and it's just, I'll put a dangly from there. This is using the Global Land dies for the pockets, and again it's like a little letter pocket, so that one will get put in. And that was one that I used with the Global Land dies, as you can see. And I hand stitched it with like the gold thread, and that's got some bits of ephemera in. So I hope you get something out of this. I will be, this is the next journal that I'm working on. I'm working on the ephemera at the moment, right through to the end of putting the journal together and putting a cover on it. I'm quite like that as the cover, but I'm not sure. I think I might use something a little bit more robust. That's got a nice French poem on, and I can't read French. I did look at it translated, and it is a sort of like talking about the beautiful days by the river and things like that. Again, so basically that's what I'm doing. There's lots of lace to go on here to match the pockets and everything. It is going to be letters and lace, this journal is called, and I think it just, I've not done a journal that's been so muted in, you know, sort of like more or less all the same tones. I think blue's the only colour really that's in it. All the rest are like beiges, creams, and so anyway, I'm waffling again. So I hope you get something out of this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.